well-known scientific kind of puzzles that an alien with advanced intelligence should easily be able to resolve. And of course, he doesn't get anything back. Which I could make some other discussion about that, but again, Carl was a pretty cool guy, hardcore scientist, materialist guy, but he was pretty cool. Blackbeard's anchor. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, they've actually. Well, I guess we're going to 20 minutes. That's fine. They recovered Blackbeard's anchor off of his ship. Was it the Queen Mary's Revenge or something like that? Freaking gigantic. It's like 5 tons or something. That was pretty neat. Changes in brain circuitry play a role in moral sensitivities. People grow up, whatever, obvious. What else? Black holes spinning faster than ever before. Yeah, we don't know. This is astronomy and science's current decision path. We don't understand this, therefore black holes. Add some spin, add some this and that. Anyway, we may have actually figured out something about why black holes create. My fellow researcher and I may have figured out something about why black holes actually create polar jets, but it's very unconventional. So we'll probably find out it's true much later. Let's see. Michael Bolton talks about Jack Sparrow. That was great. Michael Bolton on the Lonely Island track, Jack Sparrow. Look it up. It's a killer track. Lonely Island, Turtleneck and Chain. That's Lonely Island's latest latest album. Pretty good, actually. About at least more than half the tracks are very, very good, and the other, as with most comedy, there's a couple at the tail end that are pretty much unlistenable, but then there's some ones that are, they're novelty, but then there's like half a dozen tracks that are all, friggin' dance floor material, practically. Good stuff. Let's see, 10 questions for the Lonely Island. Away. Oh, perspective on the future of fusion. Yeah, that was cool. That was basically a Fizzorg article, kind of a propaganda piece, really, but it was basically just some dude from the Tokamak Hot Fusion group, which has been researching for about 50 years without really accomplishing much. Basically saying that they're still doing what they're doing, and they're still working on even higher level containment of super hot plasma. And of course, the other thing is, I can't deny that they're probably learning and very interesting things. Frankly, science should be like that in general, but it's the usual problem. There's been really zero signs of success from hot fusion for half a freaking century, and billions and billions have been spent on it, and nothing. There are other possible approaches, but again, they're not orthodox or conventional or part of the paradigm, so they're completely ignored. Whatever. I just find that. Yeah, hot fusion. Yeah, we didn't get anything in 2000 or 2010 or 1990 or 1980, but give us another $5 billion and we'll just keep on doing it. Doing what exactly? Researchers find green roof is a cost-effective way to keep water out of sewers. Again, big duh. You should put plants and sustainable biological infrastructure everywhere. Anybody had any half freaking sense? They would do that. Hidden cognitive costs of doing stuff. Whatever. Computer scientists afflict computers with schizophrenia. That was completely misleading. Extra strength heroin claims 20 lives. That's a classic one, in the sense that it's the usual thing. Heroin is in its absolutely pure form, is actually very non-toxic. It won't hurt you at all. I mean, it'll addict you, definitely, because it's very powerful, but there's been many people, I think, famous people that have, they lived their whole lives with a heroin addiction because back in the old days it was cheap and legal, so they just did their thing and whatever. But nowadays, is the usual. Everybody's heard this, I'm sure. But all the addicts get used to very poor quality drug, and then all of a sudden somebody drops some medical grade, on the street, and then they all drop dead because they're basically injecting 10 times what they normally inject. And of course, rational countries, they have was it needle exchange programs and basically safe legal ways that these addicts can do their thing, and of course they don't die and they don't get sick and they continue to live more productive normal lives. But drugs are bad, so we should want them all to die in agony, and therefore we don't have any kind of rational healthcare for that sort of thing in North America anyway. Another thing it's pointless to post about. Noam Chomsky, my reaction to Osama bin Laden's death. That was interesting. Again, the contrast between, the Americans going, "Hoo-yah! We killed Osama bin Laden," and all the, frat boys partying it up. And Chomsky, I mean, he said basically he was a bad man. It's good he's dead, as nobody can deny, including me. But as usual, it's the, is it really that? I don't know. It's kind of going hoo-yah because we invaded someplace and shot a guy in the face, whatever. We're not very civilized even still. Here's why Stephen Harper really won. That was actually a good point because it just sort of said that, the actual average voting Canadian, as opposed to us hoity-toity intellectuals, and this is a good point, I kind of got it. Harper got his majority because he played the conventional game and he talked to ordinary people, and they think his interests and what he said he's going to do lie in line with theirs. And they don't particularly care that, the hoity-toity and the intellectuals are saying, Harper doesn't obey the rules, he does this, he does that, And the fact is, again, I got to say, I'll predict that Harper, he's already, there's already a bit of a controversy about asbestos, which I recently learned. So any Canadians watching this, Canada actively defends the fact that in Quebec, I think it is, we have major asbestos mining, and we ship it to Canada and Quebec. We ship it to other parts of the world, third world, to be used for the old uses for asbestos. But of course, we know that asbestos is highly, it's not suitable for that. It's highly dangerous. But right now, the Harper government and I'm sure the various interests are defending that and so on. So yeah, Canada is as guilty as anybody, and we've got the oil sands thing going on, which is apparently a real. I always thought, right, cool, Alberta's got some oil money, but apparently it's a real, it's incredibly environmentally destructive. I mean, insanely. It leaves huge pools of toxic crap everywhere. Uses up trillions of gallons of water to produce oil at a very, it's not cheap oil. Anyway, but that's the future. That is the future. Not a lot we can do about that because people are going to go for the money. As pirate attacks grow, ship owners take arms. Yeah, that was another one. This is the future, eh? 2020 is going to be cyberpunk. I mean, the ocean is almost dead. It is. Like, right now, it is in serious danger. I mean, as in, it will kick off shortly. The dolphins or whales are not as... They're not around as much as they used to be. I don't know if they're all gone, but they're in severe danger. By 2020, I doubt if anybody will be eating anything other than... Well, the majority will be eating anything other than cloned seafood or farmed salmon, you know what I mean? Wild salmon will be, they're basically gone. Planking craze claims life in Australia. That's just, again, planking is just lying down flat and on